Everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Monday to each and every one of you. Hope you guys had an absolutely fantastic weekend. If you were celebrating the 4th of July, hope you guys had a great 4th. But here we are, back to the grind, back to the work week. It is Monday again, so alright, let's get right down to today's daily sickness video. And today we have some reviews for you guys. Been watching a lot of great stuff over last week, and we're going to take a look at what I picked up, or what I checked out, I should say. So let's try to get through this as quickly as possible. I know I always say that it takes forever, but we're going to try to get through this really quickly. So first thing we have here is National Geographic's Nature's Fury. It is what it is. It's a National Geographic documentary. If you like documentaries, why would you not check out a Nat Geo documentary? They're always fantastic, always very well done, and this one is certainly no different. And it is about what it is, Nature's Fury. Disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, all kinds of crazy stuff such as that, and it's very well done, very enjoyable, and definitely crazy to see all the insane footage of all these crazy natural disasters that go on, just how much damage they can cause. The floods are always what gets me. I mean, all the hurricanes and earthquakes and stuff, they do a lot of damage, and it's pretty crazy, but floods, it's just insane to watch just how quickly a flood can just go from like nothing to just everything destroyed. It's insane. Water is an insane thing. So I love this. This was great. Definitely check it out if you're into documentaries, if you're into natural disasters, I guess, if that's your thing, or if you just like Nat Geo, check it out. It was great. All right, then we have Crush. This was also very good. Really enjoyed this one as well. Kind of starts out pretty tame. It's about these three girls in their 40s looking for love. Some, are divorced and things just aren't working out too well for them. Kind of looking for love in all the wrong places, sort of thing. But Annie McDowell, she's our main character. She ends up falling in love with this much younger man who turns out she actually used to teach back in the day. She's actually a dean of a college now. And back in the day, he actually used to be a teacher at the school and taught this kid. But she ends up falling in love with him. He ends up falling in love with her. And of course, her friends are all kind of against this because he's so much younger. And her one friend is a complete douchebag and wants to just completely destroy and sabotage this relationship because she is dead certain that he is going to hurt Annie McDowell, her best friend. He's going to hurt her because she's been hurt. So that's what she thinks. And she keeps trying to prove it and set things up, and nothing's working. It's turning out that he actually does care for Annie McDowell. He loves her and everything's honky-dory, but she ends up going to this insane extreme where she ends up, this is her last final hurrah, where she's going to set him up by basically hitting on him and trying to hook up with them. Again, this is Annie McDowell's best friend. She's going to hook up with Annie McDowell's love interest to basically prove that, look, see, he will cheat on you. He will screw you over, which is just insane. But that's what she's going to do. He doesn't go for it, but Annie McDowell catches the flirtation, catches the whole thing in the act. And even though he didn't go for it, she thinks she did, and everything's pretty crazy. And there's a big fight. And at that point, that's when the movie does a whole 180 and goes from this sort of somewhat tame kind of movie about these girls in their 40s looking for love and just the craziness that goes on and whatnot, Annie McDowell finding her love, to just whoa, the crap hit the fan, to PC it up for you guys, where things just go pretty crazy. And I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. If you haven't, check this out. It was definitely worth seeing. And like I said, towards the end of the movie, things go downhill very quickly, and the movie just gets really serious and actually is really well done. So Crush, I definitely enjoyed this one. I would highly recommend checking it out. It was actually a pretty enjoyable movie. Not so much a chick flick-esque, but more going on than just that. So check out Crush. It was really enjoyable. All right, then a movie I can't physically hold up and show you, as it's a movie that I only own a digital copy of, and that is Nightcrawler, which all you guys were telling me to check out, so I finally did. And wow, was it definitely as good as all you guys were telling me. Jake Gyllenhaal was fantastic in the movie. He did a fantastic job of playing a complete psychopath. I love how he just plays this kind of blah kind of character. This kind of just no ambitions kind of person who just, he doesn't seem to have things together and with it. He doesn't even know what he wants to kind of do with his life and whatnot. Just kind of this weird sort of guy. And he ends up falling into the hobby, the job, whatever you want to call it, of filming things for news stories like murders and accidents and fires and whatnot. You know, people who go out and film that stuff. It's all like privately done. It's not like the news studios are going out to do it. It's people who do it and then give that footage they sell that footage to the actual news studios. He ends up starting to do this and falling into it because he sees somebody else doing anything and I could do this, and starts doing it and starts off kind of crappy, but builds himself up to be something great. And this one news studio is constantly using him because he's getting all the top footage, but he ends up going crazy with it, doing things like sabotaging his rival crew's like van where he cuts their brakes or whatever, and they get those horrible accidents and get really, really hurt. And of course, he's filming all that. He gets to the accident, films it all. There's that. Things like moving bodies at scenes of crimes, like scenes of accidents and whatnot, just to get better angles for the video. Crazy things like that. And of course, the big thing he does, which is catching this horrible murder on film, and he catches the bad guys, withholds that information from the police, and he actually uses that information to track down these bad guys and set it up so when they go somewhere, he can call the cops and the cops can come, and he's hoping for this big, huge, like, gun battle where who cares if civilians die. He wants to just catch us on film so he can give it to the news studio. Absolutely insane. Jake Gyllenhaal is just fantastic in this movie. Just, you see, you know, on the outside, he kind of seems like this quiet, shy, you know, maybe, like, good guy, but inside, he's a complete psychopath, a complete sociopath, just absolutely insane, and does a great job at it. Jake Gyllenhaal was fantastic at it. So Nightcrawler, see it, you will love it. I'm surprised I waited this long to check it out, and it's great. It's just as great as all you guys said. Nightcrawler was fantastic. See the movie. All right, then we have Wild Target, which stars Bill Nye, Emily Blunt, and Ron Weasley right there. Very, very cool. Now, not Bill Nye the Science Guy, that Bill Nye. I will pick up anything with Bill Nye, and I love Bill Nye, so that's why I had to jump on this. Plus, I mean, the rest of the cast looked interesting as well. This was a really enjoyable movie. It's a comedy, but, you know, it's got some action, some twists and turns. Yeah, it's about Bill Nye's a hitman, a gun for hire, and he's hired to kill Emily Blunt, but he ends up like kind of falling for her and ends up actually saving her life. And Ron Weasley gets mixed up in the whole thing as well, and they're all having to hide out now because there's like another hitman after the three of them because, you know, the hit wasn't put out. They're hiding out, so now somebody else is coming after them, and they got to try to get away with that. And it's pretty crazy to watch Bill Nye, you know, falling in love with this girl, and Emily Blunt's kind of insane. She's a little bit of a floozy, we'll say. She's a little loose, we'll say. she likes to she likes the men, we'll just put it that way. So very interesting to watch this all sort of go down and get very enjoyable movie. It gets funny. It's got some great action, got some great gun scenes and whatnot. It is worth checking out. I love all the characters in this movie. It was very well done, very enjoyable. Wild Target is one to check out. This was great. All right, then we have a movie I knew I was going to like, and that is The Theory of Everything. The story about Stephen Hawking. This was absolutely fantastic. I did not really know much about the story of Stephen Hawking. I really didn't know much. I mean, I know who he is and whatnot. I know he's this genius guy. You know, the dude in the wheelchair who talks and has a robot sounding talking thing. That's all I really knew about him. I knew he was a genius. I didn't really know who he was before all this. And I didn't realize that he actually has Lou Gehrig's disease. I did not know that. I didn't know why he was like this. I had no idea. In my mind, I thought maybe he was just like that from his whole life. I didn't know. No, it turns out he was just normal. Got this disease. I shouldn't say normal. That sounds wrong. But you know what I mean. Just average. Well, I don't know how you want to say it. But he was just average, normal person. And they got this disease. It sounds really wrong to say it that way. But you know what I mean. And got the disease. And then everything went well, I don't want to necessarily downhill. Because that's the thing. That the disease messes with your body's like functions, I guess like your motor skills and whatnot. You can't really, things like even like swallowing, talking, basically all your muscles and whatnot like won't work anymore, function anymore. And but your brain still works. So this guy's a genius, and his brain still works like a genius. He still is a complete genius inside his brain, but his body just isn't functioning and working anymore. And they only give him 2 years to live. Obviously, he lives much longer than that, and proves kind of everybody wrong, and still says he's complete genius, writes all these books, and this was just such a great watch. I learned so much I never knew about the man, and that's absolutely awesome. I loved it because I've always been interested, maybe I should hold it like that. I've always been interested in checking or learning more about Stephen Hawking. Always been more interested in his life and whatnot, about the man. And it's very cool to finally learn much more about him. I mean, I also knew about like the whole thing with his wife, sort of. I knew he had a wife, and then they got divorced, and then I knew he fell in love and got married or whatever to his like caretaker or something like that, like a girl who's like taking care of him. I knew about that, but I didn't know the whole story about his wife. She hired like a helping hand, like priest, and they ended up falling in love. So it was actually interesting the way it worked out, where you have Stephen Hawking and his wife, and then his wife ends up falling in love with somebody else who was helping out, and then Stephen Hawking ends up falling in love with this woman who is helping out. So they kind of just went, yeah, they parted ways and just went with the two people they fall in love with, and they're still friends. So it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's like everything sort of worked out where, you know, you both fell in love with somebody else, but hey, good for you. You know, it worked out for you in the end. So cool. So this was definitely an awesome watch. Also really cool for his wife to stick with him. It was his girlfriend at the time. It wasn't even his wife when she found out he had the disease. And then when she found out, she was in love with him, so they got married, and she just stuck with it, went through with it. I mean, they had kids and whatnot. Pretty awesome. So I love this. Check it out. Very, very, very well done movie. Great biopic. I learned so much that I never knew about Stephen Hawking. So this was awesome. See this movie. Okay. Now for one that all of you guys, as soon as I picked this up, all of you guys went, you need to watch it immediately. And that is Kingsman, The Secret Service. Yes, I did need to watch this one right away. This was awesome. As you can see right there, rated R. And yes, that is why I loved this movie. That's why I absolutely loved this film, is the fact that it's rated R. It is crazy. I love this story about this group of people. I mean, think like, you know, Mission Impossible, James Bond, you know, think about the organizations they work for, but even like more secret than that. And it's all made up of these kind of like hoity-toity kind of rich people. But every so often, you know, when somebody dies, they have to bring somebody new in and whatnot. And they're bringing in some new recruits, and we have that story going on. But then we have, of course, right there, the man, Sam, who plays the bad guy on here, which is awesome. He's going to like kill all these people. He wants to just like kill off a ton of the world, kind of leaving like the smartest and the richest and the world leaders and stuff, like leaving all of them behind to kind of repopulate and start the earth again, because you realize that things are going downhill and basically humanity's screwed, because either the earth is going to kill off all the humans because it's going to need to survive, or all the humans are going to destroy the earth, and either way the humans are going to die. So his theory is just, we'll kill off everybody, and the people will leave, or like, you know, get the smartest people, world leaders, richest people, things like that, to repopulate or make everything better again. And that is his grand master plan. He does all this by giving away like free SIM cards for like your phone that give away free internet and free phone and stuff like that for forever. That's what he says. So of course everybody puts one of these in their phones, and when he plays this like tone, everybody goes like insane and just starts beating the crap of each other, killing everybody, like killing each other, which makes me kind of think that, you know, is a little insane, because I can't imagine everybody would have got one of these cards. And, you know, some people would have had to been left. I mean, some people would have killed somebody, and then not everybody would die, you know. So I don't know, his theory might not work out completely perfectly, but very interesting. And of course, the Kingsman got to go and stop him, and our new recruit right there, a new young lad of a recruit whose father was also in the service. He has to go and save the day. He's the new guy, but of course he does it, and he saves the day, and hurrah, and then he ends up bagging this really hot like princess at the end. But this was enjoyable. It was insane. And like I said, R-rated, which I love, because for one scene alone, you all know what it is, the church scene. Oh my God, when Colin Firth goes crazy and just starts killing off everybody inside this church, it is intense. I mean, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching this movie. It kind of comes out of nowhere too. The movie isn't really like super hardcore. It's somewhat tame. I mean, it is R-rated, but it is somewhat tame. It's not like, it doesn't really seem like you're watching an R-rated movie. You watch and you think, this could be, you know, this could be PG-13, until that church scene comes. You're like, oh, this is an R-rated movie, because wow, did this just get intense. It is a fantastic scene. So this movie, Oh my God, was it good? I'll be watching this one again probably sometime soon. This was a fantastic story, fantastic characters, fantastic scenes, fantastic everything. See Kingsman, The Secret Service. It was a really good watch. I love this one. All you guys are telling me I need to check it out as soon as I picked it up, and I had to. As soon as I bought this one, I watched it, and it was fantastic. See the movie. Amazing. All right, then we have McFarland USA, which I did enjoy, although I wonder how much, I mean, it's based on a true story, and I wonder how much of it actually is this true story and how much of it was like made up, because there are some parts of this movie that just seemed really like stereotypical kind of Disney feel-good sort of sports movie. Like there's so many scenes where I was like, I wonder if that really happened. It seems so like scripted, just so like I've seen this a million times in a movie. So I don't know. I kind of question some parts of this, but absolutely fantastic. Kevin Costner plays this guy who he's a coach. He's a football coach at a school, and the kid at the school. I mean, the team is horrible, and the leader of the I don't know what you call whoever the leader of the football. What do you call him? It's a football team. The captain, that's what it is. I don't play sports. I don't know. The captain, I guess, of the football team, you know, he's like mouthing back off to Kevin Costner. And Kevin Costner ends up throwing a cleat, and he's like, "Get out!" And when he throws a cleat, it hits the locker, bounces back, and cuts the kid's face. And well, that's it for his career in that school. He gets kicked out. No other school wants to hire him because they think he's like a loose cannon and whatnot. So he goes to this. He goes to McFarland, which is like this. It's in the U.S., but it's this just very it's right on like the border of Mexico, and it's a very Mexican town. Everybody in the town is Mexican, basically. So it's this kind of rundown, sort of, you know, no name kind of school, and it's the only place he can get a job. So he gets a job there, and lo and behold, it turns out he's got some really fast runners on the football team, which he's the assistant coach for now. And he basically gets this idea, well, these runners are really fast. Maybe we can do a cross-country track team. And tries to get that together, does get it together. Of course, he has to get these kids motivated and get them wanting to do this. At first they don't, and then they kind of get into it. And the more he works them, the more they're kind of like, you know, not wanting to do it. And then, of course, in the end, they all love it and just they become this fantastic cross-country team, and they end up winning this big match by like 1 point, and yay. And apparently the school now, at the very end of the movie, they show all these different like all the different cross-country, like I guess from the United States, where all these different I don't even know what you call them, cross-country races they want. I don't even know. I'm not into sports, but all these different meets, I guess maybe you call them, all these different meets they want. Like they were just champions for like so many years in a row, all because of I don't even know his name, of Kevin Costner's character, Coach Jim White. There you go. Because of him, this school won all these different again, championships throughout the years, because he kept putting these great teams together, these great cross-country teams together. And it turns out they were fantastic. I mean, these kids are apparently like super hard working, because they pretty much all work in fields, you know, picking crops and whatnot. That's what they do. And they're very motivated. They get up when it's dark. They go pick these crops in this field, and they go to school, and they have to do homework, and they got to go after school. They got to go back to the field. I mean, they're just working, and they're just super well motivated. There's no BS with these kids. They're gonna do something. They're gonna do it, and they're gonna do it right. And it's very cool. So I liked it. It was very enjoyable. Sorry for my horrible discussion on this movie, since I don't know the first thing about sports, but I did really enjoy this. I do tend to really enjoy, even though I don't really know much about sports, I don't really like sports, I do tend to really get into sports movies, and this was great. Definitely worth checking out. Great Disney movie. Again, like I said, I know it's based on a true story. I don't know how much of this stuff was Disneyed up, is Hollywood, because some of this stuff felt very like stereotypical stuff you've seen in a million different movies before, especially different million sports movies before. So you kind of see where things were coming. I would see one thing and be like, okay, I know exactly how the next scene's gonna go, and it would go exactly that way. So it is what it is. But McFarland USA, good watch. Check it out. All right, let's go through the rest of these. We have Terri, which I picked up again, really just for right there. John C. Reilly, big fan of his. And the movie was pretty decent. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was a decent drama. It's about our character Terri here, who's obviously overweight, bit but socially impaired, I guess you could say. He's not really he's not really the most popular kid in school. People always make fun of him. He kind of keeps to himself and whatnot. Turns out that John C. Reilly, the principal, has kind of been gathering all the like socially awkward kids and whatnot, gathering them all and kind of doing these get-togethers with them, like one-on-one, kind of basically just make them feel more special and kind of trying to help them out. And Terry, he gets kind of wind at this. He thinks that John C. Reilly is doing something nice for him, that the principal is doing something nice for him and having these special meetings for him. And then he finds out that he's doing this for like all these different kids, and all these kids are of course like other kind of like kids who are looked upon as like losers. And he's like, well, what am I, like one of these kids? Which he is, but he gets kind of pissed off about that. But then he ends up befriending John C. Reilly and everything like that. He befriends him and ends up a girl he's has the hots for kind of ends up befriending her as well. And just an interesting bit of a drama. I wouldn't say this movie was anything too crazy, didn't really go much of anywhere, but it was an interesting story. John C. Reilly was great. The rest of the cast was definitely great. This is one worth checking out. It's not going to be for everybody. Like I said, the story doesn't necessarily really go anywhere. It is just kind of I kind of like it sometimes. A story that kind of just feels like it could be a real story. Like nothing, the ending isn't some big fantastic thing where you're like, oh my god, like, well, that would never happen. No, it kind of feels like something maybe that happened in your school or something like that. So Terri, we're checking out. I did enjoy it. Okay, then for 4th of July, I had to watch something, I don't know, something patriotic, something Revolutionary War related. So I watched The Crossing. Very cool, starring Jeff Daniels, who did a fantastic job actually playing General Washington. And of course, it's all about the famous Christmas crossing of the Delaware River, where they crossed and attacked the Hessians and defeated them. And pretty cool. They lost. They had no casualties and whatnot during the battle, and they caught them all by surprise. And pretty cool move on General Washington's part, because they were going to get their asses handed to them. Let's face it. I mean, these Hessians, there were so many of them, and his little ragtag army was not going to defeat them. So he gets this idea, well, let's Christmas night, like very early in the morning, Christmas Eve into the Christmas morning, we're going to cross the Delaware River. We're going to get across. We're going to go to Trenton, New Jersey. We are going to go then attack the Hessians when they're still asleep and when they haven't got together yet. You know, it's Christmas. Christmas Eve, they just had a big, huge party, and now we are going to go attack them when they catch them off guard. And they do. They completely catch them off guard and end up taking the army, which is really, really cool. And definitely awesome for me, because I only live maybe like an hour, 45 minutes or so away from where Washington actually crossed the Delaware, the Pennsylvania State Park, Washington Crossing State Park. Very cool. Definitely check it out if you ever get a chance to go there. There's a Washington Crossing like park on the New Jersey side. That park sucks. I went there. There was nothing there. It's kind of like you just go and you like look. You're like, all right, I'm here. It's kind of lame. I need to go to Trenton. See, do they have? I wonder if like the town's still there, and if they have if they have any kind of like park there. I'm not sure. I've been to Trenton before. But I've never been to like that. A park if they have it, so I gotta check that out. But I've been to Washington Crossing State Park. It's pretty awesome. Again, if you're ever in Pennsylvania, you get the chance to go there, check it out. It's right by New Hope, Pennsylvania, which is also a really cool little town I'd recommend checking out. Right there on the Delaware River. Very awesome. So this was definitely a great watch. Really enjoyed this movie. Very cool. It is a made-for-TV movie. It's an Andy made-for-TV movie. It feels like it. You know, lots of those scenes where they deliver the line that also fades to black. You're like, hey, that's where a commercial would be. Lots of that going on, but nevertheless, decent watch. I would recommend it for a made-for-TV movie. It was very well done, very enjoyable. Again, Jeff Daniels does a fantastic job playing General Washington, and pretty cool just to hear the story of Washington crossing in Delaware and defeating the Hessian army and his victory in Trenton. So very cool. And then the last thing here I checked out, finally had to see this, and that is The New York Ripper, which is just what I assumed it was going to be. It's just an Italian movie. That is an Italian horror movie. It's what it is. They're pretty cheesy. They're pretty goofy. This is almost a soft-core porn. I will say that. Yeah, my wife came down while I was watching it. I'm sitting down here watching the movie, and she comes down. And she's like, "What are you watching?" She thought I was watching a porn. I mean, literally. I mean, they're oh my god, like 50% of this movie, TNA, There are scenes of people like having sex. There's full frontal nudity, tons. I mean, this is more or less a softcore porn right here, more so than it is. It's a horror movie meets softcore porn, basically. It was pretty crazy. As it says, the most controversial horror film ever made. I'm not so sure about that, but there were some scenes that even I had covered my eyes, like when, like the one scene where the guy is slicing the girl open with the razor blade, and he goes like over her eye. It looks so real for, I mean, what was this movie? Was it 70 something? I'm sorry, no, this is a 1982. So, okay, 1980s movie. For a 1980s movie, the special effects were great. When they're slicing people open, it looks so incredibly real. And that scene where he slices their eye open, oh my God. I had to I had my hand over my eyes. It was hard to watch because it was just so realistic looking. Absolutely crazy, but very cool. So, was this movie any good? I did enjoy it. It was all right, but it is an Italian horror movie, and they're all kind of the same in the sense that they're all pretty cheesy. They're all pretty ridiculous, but they're fun at the same time. So did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. It's about this guy going around killing people in New York. They're trying to solve this murder, and you're left wondering who the killer really is. And he talks in a Donald Duck voice. But it makes sense at the end. At the end, you find out why he talks in this voice. It's just kind of weird during the rest of the movie with this guy talking in this, like, duck voice. But, and like I said, at the very end, they do explain to you why he's talking in that voice. But, interesting movie. Would I recommend checking it out? If you like Italian horror films, see it. If that's your thing, if Italian horror exploitation films, are your thing, see the movie. You're going to enjoy it. But if that's not your thing, then you're going to want to stay away because it is what it is. It's like every other Italian horror movie I pretty much ever seen. But they are fun. So New York Ripper, I enjoyed it. It just is what it is though. So very cool. So all right, guys, there you go. That's everything I checked out. Not too bad. Only a half hour into this video. That's actually pretty good for me doing a review video. Usually these go much longer. So all right, like I said, pretty much going to say, yeah, I would recommend every single thing I watched. Yeah, I didn't watch anything bad this week at all. Everything definitely worth checking out. They were all good watches. If you have any interest in any of these, see them. Very cool. So, all right. Like I always say, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Simply just by checking this video out and showing your support by watching means the absolute world to me. Thank you. But of course, you can also show your support by simply liking this video by clicking that little thumbs up tab. It takes 2 seconds. It means a lot to me. It really helps me out. I would definitely appreciate it. You can also subscribe to me. I do a brand new daily sickness video every single day. Collection updates, unboxing, cinema hunting videos, reviews, looks into my collection, looks into my sickness for cinema on a daily basis. So hit that subscribe button. You will see at least one new video from me every single day. But of course, I sprinkle in bonus videos here and there for your extra added enjoyment all the time. So hit that subscribe button. Again, you will see one new video from me every single day at the very least. Been doing that for 4 years now, and I got no plans on stopping. So hit that subscribe button. Also, down below, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description, there's a whole bunch of links, things like my Patreon account, where you can pledge a monthly donation to help support this show. Spreadshirt account, where you can purchase yourself a Cinema hat, Cinema t-shirt, buttons, tank tops, hoodies, satchels, baby gear, kids gear, all kinds of other Cinema merch to pick up. If you want to get some of that, if you feel ever so inclined, that'd be great. Also, the usuals, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, those are all down below as well. You can click on any of those and follow me on any of those sites. And also, if you're on Listia and you're on eBay, I got my pages for those down below as well. You can check those out and see everything I have for auction on Listia and everything I have for auction on eBay as well if you want to check that out. And if you're at cinemasickness.com watching this video, as you should be, all those very same exact links are right up above you, right underneath the Cinema Sickness logo. You'll see a whole bunch of icons. Those icons will take you all to the same exact website. And if you're not at cinemasickness.com, if you are on eBay, there is a link down below to cinemasickness.com. Click on it, head over there, check it out. I do post these videos there, but I post so much more as well. There's all kinds of stuff over at cinemasickness.com for you to check out, including Team Sickness. If you like my videos, you're going to like the videos from Team Sickness. So while you're there, definitely click on that Team Sickness tab. Check out everything those guys and gals have to offer. Show them your support. They would definitely appreciate it. So, I said that really fast. So, all right, guys, there you go. That's it. Yeah, we're going to keep this in a half hour. So thank you. Thank you so much for checking this video out. Really appreciate it. Again, I hope you guys have a great Monday. And I'll see you all tomorrow on Tuesday with your next Daily Sickness video. Yes, we're in a half hour. See you then, guys. Bye.